by Rona Mackay. Mr Cole-Hamilton, please.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. Can I start by thanking Claire Haughey and paying tribute to the work she does, not just in this area, but in many aspects of mental health and the immense professional expertise she brings to this chamber. Joanne Lamont, in yesterday's debate around the healthy weight strategy, drew the stark corollary that exists between these two debates and reminded us that we actually spend a great deal of time in this chamber debating things like obesity, but very seldom do we address important aspects of the issues we're discussing today. It's also linked to many debates we have in this place around mental health, around pressure in the NHS, but also I think to the members' debate that happened a couple of months ago in the name of Gail Ross around adverse childhood experiences, because dramatic, significant life events can be a trigger to any one of the four types of eating disorders we've heard about today, whether that's about times of traumatic experience which are beyond a person's control, that sometimes there is a grief response in eating disorders, that they are actually an attempt, a subliminal attempt by a person to regain some control of their life. We also see that relationships can be a cause, whether that's through a response to abuse or as a tool of coercive control, an aspect of coercive control in an abusive relationship. We know that personality types and genetic factors can have are part of the reasons behind eating disorders, but it is societal pressures that I find most egregious to a certain extent, and I think in some respects that we are most empowered as a chamber to do something about. We're all familiar with the pictures of airbrushed supermodels we see in magazines, or the narrow, punishing idea of what beauty should be in this society. And that is, I think, then amplified by the body shaming that we see, particularly in tabloid newspapers every week, where privacy is invaded, photographs taken without permission and then exploited for some kind of sensationalist journalism. That's then met with a peer pressure that we see in the rise of online bullying, particularly in the advent of social media. We've heard a lot about the statistics, but they do bear repeating, that 1.25 million people across the UK will experience some kind of eating disorder, but the impact of that is much wider. Anyone who has a family member with a mental health issue of any kind will know just the strain and the anxiety that can cause to them as well. The Group Beat, that we've heard a lot about today, have launched this campaign, #WhyWait, and it's very important because it brings attention to the fact that there is that 3.5-year average treatment time between the start of a disorder and first-line treatment. I want to thank those in my constituency, Louise Allen and Louise Gearbowen, who have brought this to my attention, which was something I did not know before. In Scotland, that's compounded by the 2-year wait that we have in some parts of this country for first-line treatment in child and adolescent mental health service, in a lack of Tier 4 inpatient bed capacity. And as our Chief Medical Officer described to the Health Committee, in what she calls an atlas of variation, that postcode lottery that exists. And I think that's absolutely made clear by the advent of the formation of a peer-led eating disorder support group in Orkney, where there is no actual provision of services. So we need a transformational investment in mental health. That's the first line in our response to this. We need to ensure that each health board, each of the territorial health boards in this country, offers some meaningful provision in this area. We need to build awareness in our society, but we also need to challenge our society as well. We need to address the body shaming which goes on, for which many outlets are complicit, and we need to make it clear to people that there is help. They only need to ask for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I say to the Chamber that I have 4 members